Hey guys, let me know when you're here and we will get started. Don't mind my dance while I'm waiting for my video to turn on. It always starts a couple of seconds behind, so I don't realize that the video has turned on already. You've realized that by now. I do the same thing every week. All right, let me get everything set up over here. Refresh this page so that we can open the Q&A. Perfect. All right. Hey, Chris. Hey, Bill. Happy to have you here. All right. We started right at 8 o'clock this time, too. On the dot. Love it when that happens. Martin, Richard, hello. Good to see some familiar faces. Sydney, hello. Yeah, let's cut some cords. Absolutely. All right, my computer is giving me all kinds of messages. I've got little flashing messages popping up all over the place. Whew, if I don't get distracted, it'll be a miracle. Brett, hello. Welcome, everybody. We can get started as soon as you guys are ready with some questions. In the meantime, as always, I would love to know where you're at and what the weather is like, because goodness gracious, it started storming out of nowhere in Cleveland today, and it was insane. I thought for sure that my internet would go out, that the power would go out, something crazy would happen. So if that's happening to you too, I am so sorry. I know, Chris, okay. I hear you, and I do think that we will be missing a few people tonight because of this. Yeah, Big Brother starts tonight, and of course, it starts on the same day, same time as the cord-cutting Q&A. I don't think I saw your tweet. I must have missed it. I know Jermaine sent me a tweet. Jermaine says, let's cut some cords. Yeah, Jermaine, I know, will not be sticking around as a Big Brother super fan. He will be watching tonight, and I will catch up tomorrow. No one tell my boss, but I will definitely be watching while I work in the morning. Just kidding, you can tell her. All right, DMS says, hello, not as hot as usual in North Texas, so I'm glad it cooled down for you guys a little bit. Sunny and 72 in Seattle. Oh, that's so nice to hear after you guys had above 100 temperatures for a while. Frayden, hello. Richard, Southwest Iowa, nice and cool, 71. Oh, it's my favorite weather. A little cloudy, 70 degrees. Perfect. Deborah says, made it through Elsa. So happy to hear that. Bill, you're on the bus going home. Get home safe. 85 in Indiana. Man, it's just a big variety tonight. 88 in St. Louis. Hey, G-Money, good to see you. Man, yeah, I thought for sure, guys, that the power was going to go out or something. It was completely clear and sunny, and all of a sudden, just out of nowhere, a thunderstorm. It was crazy. 85 in Erie, Pennsylvania. NYC says, hopefully tonight's chat is relaxing. A rough morning. Oh, you did have a power outage. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Threw your morning routine off. Yeah, completely know the feeling. I hate that. Well, yeah, let's have a nice relaxing little chat tonight. Ooh, Bill, you went to the casino. That sounds fun. Michael says 76 in Beverly, Mass. Iowa Adventure says 75. Samuel says, Batwoman was great last week. I did finally start watching. I didn't make it very far, just an episode, but finally. You guys have been telling me for weeks to watch this. Brett watched, the new Monsters on Monsters at Work on Disney+. You like it so far. Okay, good. Good stuff. Yeah, I've heard good things about it. I have not gotten a chance to watch it yet. Is anyone going to be watching Black Widow on Disney Plus with Premiere Access? I'm looking forward to that one for sure. 67 and rainy in Minneapolis. Yeah, it's something like that here too. I'll check the temperature. Whoops. Like I said, so many notifications. 72 and rainy over here in Cleveland. NYC says tonight is Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Finals. Either Tampa clinches tonight to end the NBC era, or Montreal does the unthinkable. Someone will have to let me know how it goes. I don't think I even follow hockey on my ESPN app. I know I spilled the beans last week and told you guys I'm not a huge hockey fan. I love going in person. I just don't watch it very often. Yeah, we have some people excited about Black Widow. Me too. Yep. Oh my gosh, so many of these stupid pop-ups. It's driving me crazy. Robert says, new Boss Baby on Peacock TV. I was just getting ads for that and actually just sent Philip a story about Boss Baby. He said that he was surprised to see a second one come out. I don't know, I thought the first one was kind of cute. Salmos, did I say your name right? You want to watch Black Widow but don't want to pay for premium access, and you are in luck. You will just have to wait a few months until it pops up for everybody on Disney Plus. You won't have to pay any extra, but unfortunately you will have to wait a while. G-Money says, was going to catch up on Batwoman, had watched about half of the first season. To my surprise, disappointment, season 1 is no longer on CW, just HBO Max. Yeah, I did notice that because I checked on Just Watch to find out where to watch it, and it listed CW as having the first season, and whenever I went over there, I didn't see it. So I have been watching on HBO Max. So yeah, very disappointing. Kind of a bummer that it's not on CW. Deborah's cheering for Tampa tonight. Hey, Jeff, good to see you. I am doing great. Thank you so much for asking. I know Jermaine is not going to be around tonight. He is watching Big Brother. We were just chatting about that over on Twitter. I should enable super chats. I will be completely honest. I don't know how. Actually, Luke got me set up to do the Q&A back in the day whenever he was still here. He told me exactly how to set everything up, and I'm so afraid to change settings because I feel like every time I try to mess with anything, like I try to make the video better, I try to fix audio issues, and every time I mess something up so badly. So I have no idea what I'm doing on YouTube, to be honest. I was hired as a writer, not someone to be on screen, but here we are. NYC says, pleasant surprise today. My parents became cord cutters again. That's great news. Now I just have to help them how to watch local news on streaming before I do research on Tableau DVR. That's awesome. If they have Locast, I highly recommend it. Or if they can get their channels on an antenna, even better. But that's awesome. So glad that they have you to help get it all set up. I know that can be a little daunting at first for people who are used to cable. I look like Black Widow. That is a huge compliment, and I don't think it's true at all, but thank you so much. I'll take it. Oh, I have to tell you guys, shoot, I forgot to hang it up. I got a letterboard to put back here with some movie quotes every week, and of course I forgot to hang it up. Dang. Man, this week has been a little nuts. I know. Yeah, I'm excited to watch Big Brother. Are there any other Big Brother fans that are here that will watch the premiere later? I'm definitely going to have to watch tomorrow morning, and I'm kind of bummed about it. All right. Any news on the date NFL Network and Red Zone are coming to Hulu? No, haven't heard anything. As far as we know, there are no plans for that at the moment, but we will definitely post if we hear anything about that. Hey, Colin, good to see you. No, I have not seen Monsters at Work yet, Nicholas. I will definitely be watching it. Love the Monsters, Inc. movie, so very excited for this one. Just have not gotten a chance to watch yet. Bill says, Locast came to Columbus, Ohio. It's in every county around Zanesville, but not in Zanesville. Yeah, I actually talked to Locast about that because somebody sent me a message on Twitter saying the same thing, Bill. And originally in the announcement that they gave us, it said Columbus and Zanesville, specifically said Zanesville. And then they emailed me later and said, nope, never mind, so sorry. Apparently Zanesville is in its own market area, and everything else around Columbus is lumped into one market, and Zanesville is on its own. So that's why it happened. Hopefully they will get that straightened out and find a way to make it available in Zanesville, because I agree, it's crazy. It really is like everything surrounding you guys. So hopefully soon. I will reach out to them. Actually, let me make a note. I will reach out to Locast and ask them if they are planning to make something happen in Zanesville to make up for that. Oh my gosh, yes, Brian says, a little off topic, but we have to talk about this. I just think of zoo animals when I hear Zanesville. Yeah, do you guys remember, I think it was a few years ago now, that some zoo animals escaped in Zanesville and there were like tigers or something walking down the street? I absolutely remember that. It was far enough away that it was kind of funny. I felt terrible for the people and the animals, but yeah, agreed. Whenever I hear Zanesville, I think the same thing. All right, let's see. Robert says, with Paramount Plus, they'll have live feeds of Big Brother 24/7 once it starts. Yeah, so Jermaine was telling me if I want to be a true super fan this season, I need to be watching those live feeds. But apparently there are some wrap-up shows here on YouTube, I think, where they will go over the highlights. I don't know if I can sit and just eavesdrop on people all the time, but I bet that's pretty interesting. I've never done it before. Eric says that I need a Cord Cutters News logo on the wall behind me. That's a great idea. We actually got Luke for Christmas a couple of years ago a wood carving thing with the logo, and it was really cool, so maybe I need something like that back there. Not a bad idea. Oh, here's a fun question. Samuel wants to know what your favorite snacks are when you're watching a movie, so if anyone cares to share. I know we're getting a little off topic from cord cutting tonight, but that's a fun question, so if anyone feels like sharing, let us know what your favorite movie snacks are. Oh, okay, yeah, let's talk about FuboTV a little bit. Hang on just a second. Something happened with the comments. There we go. Let's see. In addition to telling me your favorite snacks, let's talk about Fubo. So Jeff noticed that G-Money said that he is ditching Fubo. Some news this week was that Fubo added some more ABC affiliates in different areas around the country. They have over 80 affiliates. 80 ABC affiliates, sorry, let me clarify. All around the country now. And for those who don't have local affiliates, they will get a national feed. So great that they added those. Unfortunately, Fubo also dropped the A&E network. So I think there were 5 or 6, and now I'm getting everything jumbled up in my head again. But they did drop the A&E channels. So that was unfortunate. So if those were channels that you were really into, you would want to get them somewhere else now. And that probably means, just because of cost, switching to a different service. So the theory is that Fubo probably did that so that they would have money in their budget to get those Turner channels back, which would be great for them because of the sports aspect of those channels, but does kind of stink for people who were interested in A&E channels. Yeah, Bill makes a good point. They are available on Philo, which is a pretty affordable streaming service. All right, so that is what is going on with Fubo. If anyone else is thinking about switching, let me know and tell me which ones you are thinking about switching to. I need a neon sign behind me. Not really my vibe, but maybe that could be kind of fun back here. All right, everyone's saying that they love popcorn for watching movies. Popcorn popped in the microwave. Cheetos, good call. Ritz crackers and Diet Coke. Oh, I love a Coke Zero. Ice cream, veggie straws. Ooh, that's one of my faves. Cheez-Its, not a fan of Cheez-Its. Popcorn, nacho cheese Doritos. I just had with dinner some chips that were jalapeno flavored. They were the brand Late July. They were really good. They were like Doritos, but jalapeno flavored. Robert likes Pringles, popcorn for a movie, peanut M&Ms, so good. Peanut butter M&Ms are one of my favorite foods and something I cannot have in my house at any time. All right, let's see. We've got some Fubo comments here. So Eric says FuboTV actually has some RSNs, but not Bally or Yes Network. Marquee is on Fubo, but the Cubs are not playing well right now. Yeah, true story. Yeah, so it would be great to see them bring back those Bally sports networks. I'm interested to see what happens there. Also interested to see if Sinclair ends up getting those NBC regional sports networks. Did you guys catch that story? We have it up over on cordcuttersnews.com. So Sinclair is apparently in the running for getting these NBC regional sports networks, which would be interesting. Obviously, they want them to grow their collection and maybe make this direct-to-consumer situation a little more attractive and to be able to sell their channels to streaming services. So we will see what happens. All right. Bill says that Philo also gives you TV everywhere. That is a great point. Yep, some more love for peanut butter M&Ms. I swear we won't just talk about snacks all night, but I mean, sometimes you just have to. Robert says Sinclair has enough RSNs. They don't need more. I do think they're trying to kind of get the monopoly on them, though, for sure. So I don't know. We'll definitely be keeping an eye on that whole situation, but I am very interested to see what happens with those NBC RSNs. Deborah says the Rays won a doubleheader against Cleveland today. Yeah, I don't want to talk about it. It hurts my feelings. NYC says, I hope that Sinclair doesn't get the NBC regional sports networks. I don't want a monopoly. Prefer that Amazon gets it. Yeah, the other interesting thing is we don't really know who all is in the running right now. And apparently for the first round of bids, NBC didn't give a whole lot of information to the bidders. So they don't know exactly what the financial situation is. They just kind of went into it blind and made a bid. I'm sure they had some idea of what was going on. But the whole thing is very interesting. So we don't know who all was bidding at the moment. So maybe for the next round, we'll get a little more info. Chris says that whenever a Cleveland team loses, it makes me sad. That is a very true story. I am a Clevelander through and through. Robert says that's why Disney had to sell them Fox Sports RSN because of the monopoly. Yeah, I think Disney didn't really have any interest in owning those. And Sinclair, as we've all been able to see for the past year or so, has really been struggling with what to do with these RSNs. So I think having a bigger collection in their eyes would be a great thing. All right, G-Money is back with a report about why he is switching from Fubo. Says, initially got it so that I could have all of my favorite channels on one platform, especially history and science. Yeah, that's something that's been increasingly frustrating for a lot of us, is that with all of these channels, with like contracts not working out and channels being dropped and things, it's really hard sometimes to find a streaming service that gives you everything that you want. And of course, the nice thing is that you can pause a subscription, cancel, start a new one somewhere else, kind of price things out. But having to subscribe to a bunch of different channels to gather up all of your, or to subscribe to a bunch of services to gather up all of your channels, it can be frustrating. So I'm with you, G-Money. That is frustrating, and I hope that you're able to find something that works out for you. All right, let's see. NYC says, I tried watching a simulcast of a Bally sports game on Fox Sports 1 over the weekend, and it was so bland. Interesting. I like the idea of that, the concept of everything being simulcast. Javier says, do you have an update on Locast, if they are going to keep going or be shut down? So right now they seem to be unfazed by this lawsuit against them. And I know I've been saying this every week, but I just haven't really seen any updates about what's going on with this lawsuit. So still, the last I heard was that the broadcast networks had sent out a letter, and Locast had also sent out a letter basically saying, we're a nonprofit, everyone has a right to these channels, we're not doing anything wrong, you can't shut us down. So yeah, Nicholas is asking about the lawsuit. So that's kind of the gist of it, is that these broadcast networks were saying you are infringing on copyrights, you do not have the right to be rebroadcasting these channels and giving them away for free. Locast is saying everybody has a right to these channels, everyone should be able to get their local news and weather. And technically Locast is run by a nonprofit, so they're saying that they have every right to be distributing these channels. And technically the service is free, but yeah, I knew someone was going to bring up the $5 donation. So technically Locast is free, and they can get away with saying that. The $5 a month fee is only a donation, so technically it's not mandatory. Although, as we all know, it's pretty much impossible to use Locast in any meaningful way without making that $5 donation. So that's kind of what the broadcast networks are saying. They're like, you're really going to say that it's not mandatory? Have you tried using your service without paying this $5? And Javier, I agree with you. The $5 is well worth it for me as well. But that's the argument on both sides. So that is the case, but we haven't really heard anything, and Locast is still expanding for now. So that's where we're at. It seems like they are not being slowed down. Oh, interesting. Eric says that Antenna Man on YouTube, and I know a lot of you are a big fan of his. Antenna Man is saying that he thinks that Locast will be shut down. I can't say that I'll be completely surprised if they get shut down, because I feel like Locast relatively is small compared to these huge networks like ABC, NBC, Fox. I think Disney is in on it too. Those are some huge names. They have a lot of money and a lot of power behind them. And for that reason alone, I could see Locast getting shut down, only because they've got all of these very powerful companies and individuals coming up against them. But I don't know. I would like to see them stick around. Personally, I use Locast and I like it a lot. So that's where I'm at. Team Locast. Annette, hey, good to see you. Thanks for being here. They really do kind of harass you for that $5 donation. Absolutely, Roy, I'm with you. And I will never say that I think that Locast is entirely free. Every time that I write a post about them, I make sure to mention, like, yeah, technically free, but really you can't do a whole lot without making that donation. So I'm not trying to trick anybody into this. So, yeah, that's where we're at. I happily pay that $5 a month. So, yep, that's where I'm at. DMS says Locast will go the way of Napster. That's interesting. Haven't heard the name Napster in a while. Or LimeWire. Not that I ever did that. Would I ever download music illegally? Of course not. All right. Let's see. I'm seeing some comments about password sharing. I will not read those out loud. Discuss away. I just won't read them out in the video. All right. Oh, one more thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is Fox weather. So people have been asking me about this every week. I see your comment over there, Richard. People have been asking me about Fox weather constantly whenever we do these Q&As. And I understand everyone wants this alternative to the Weather Channel. People have been excited about this. So I thought we were going to have an update finally. I saw some stories about Fox Weather, and I thought finally this is the time when we find out when they're finally launching, if it's going to cost money, what is going on with Fox Weather. and nothing. We get nothing. It turns out the whole story was that Fox Weather is fighting with the Weather Channel. It was just some drama between the two channels. It was nothing exciting. So, kind of a bummer. I really thought I was going to have a good update for you guys tonight, and of course not. It was just some people yelling at each other. Tanuki says, one time my favorite soccer team lost to my second favorite soccer team, and I was sad and raging when watching Sling TV. Thank you for that story, Tanuki. I appreciate that. Yeah, so anyway, this Fox Weather thing, the Weather Channel is just saying that Fox Weather doesn't know what they're doing. They're getting stories wrong already, and they haven't even launched yet. Fox Weather is coming back against the Weather Channel, and it's dumb. It's drama, and I don't know. Kind of a bummer. I was really hoping for some news. Jeff just got here and wants us to start over. From the top, everybody, let's talk about movie snacks. Just kidding. Jeff, if you have any questions, feel free to ask away. Let's see what we've covered so far. Monsters at Work, we're all very excited for. Black Widow, we are all very excited for. We talked about our favorite movie snacks. We're just having a nice little chit chat tonight. Yeah, okay, we're not going to get into any political conversations, so I see your comments, but meh. Not interested. G-Money says, let's cut some cords. Yeah, since we're restarting the whole conversation. Jeff says, 1998 called and they want the LimeWire, Napster, and Morpheus references back. Honestly, that took me right back. Yeah, NYC, completely with you. NYC says, we don't need drama between weather channels. I just want the forecast and some weather anchors on social media. Completely agree, and I think that was a complaint that some people had about the Weather Channel starting this new streaming service that's coming up, that they are bringing in all these entertainment channels and trying to make it this whole thing. And I'm kind of in the camp of stick with what you're there for. You are the Weather Channel. Give us the weather. That's what people are here for. So that's where I'm at. I think that they are trying to make it into like some big situation, but we'll see how it goes. I'll give it a chance, I guess. I don't know. Yes, definitely a political free zone, please and thank you. I spend way too much time already deleting those comments from the Facebook group. We don't need them over here. Michael says, I use Weather Nation on Pluto TV. Yeah, that's another thing. There are some really good free weather channels on these free streaming services and also on some of the paid ones. So I would stick with that personally. I'm not trying to get on the Weather Channel's bad side, but that's my opinion. Oh yeah, Sydney says Shark Week starts on Sunday on Discovery. Yeah, we have a post up about that somewhere. I know I had it up last week. Let me see if I can find it real quick. You guys know I'm not good at this whole multitasking thing. I just spelled the name of my own website wrong. Great, doing great. Shark Week. Here we go. Tamara wrote a great post about this with a very helpful schedule. All right, this delay is killing me because I just came back over to post that in the chat and saw myself with my focused face. Yeah, so if you click on that post, it'll take you over to the full schedule of Shark Week content that's coming up, and it's all going to be streaming on Discovery Plus, which personally I think is very cool. Chris is also excited about Shark Week. Yeah, do we have any other fans? Let me know. NYC says the one thing Paramount Plus is smart with is that they are also an add-on for Apple TV and Amazon Prime. Agreed. I wish Peacock would do the same since that standalone app is kind of, I don't even know what that word is. Yeah, agreed. I think it makes sense for streaming services to be on Amazon Prime Video channels. Love that. Also love when they are available as add-ons, like HBO Max on Hulu. Excuse me, man. My voice is giving out already and we're only halfway in. All right. Peacock doesn't have any other content that interests me outside of WWE. Since it's free, don't have incentive to explore it further. That's fair, Tony. Just use it for what you need it for, especially if it's free. Michael says, just canceled FuboTV, had YouTube TV before that. They're all getting too expensive. Yeah, I was just making this argument with someone this week. Not argument. I was just making the point that I really think that things are shifting more toward free and these less expensive on-demand streaming services. Just because of that, I feel like the price is getting a little prohibitive. I feel like people are finding their content elsewhere. I think that we are just kind of shifting away from live TV in general. So I am with you. Oh, okay, NYC, that word means garbage. Got it. I didn't want to read it out loud just in case it was something inappropriate for the chat. Sorry, I had a piece of hair in my face. Sorry about that. We're really all over the place tonight, guys. All right, Javier wants to know if I'm watching the McGregor fight on Saturday. I don't think I'll watch it. I'm not a huge UFC fan, but we do have some posts coming up about it for anyone who is interested. So look for those coming up probably on Thursdays. Tomorrow, Thursday already? Sheesh. Probably on Friday and Saturday. All right. Chris wants to know if Peacock is streaming Olympic content behind their paywall. I believe so. I believe most of the Olympic content will be on the paid tier. Aaron says Paramount Plus and Peacock have programming outside of the same programs on YouTube TV, though. Yeah, that's true. Through channels like Cozy, they should offer them as add-on channels on YouTube TV. Jeff says, by the way, just wanted to share something that I shared with you on Twitter about NBC Sports. I think they should move NBC Gold content to Peacock. Agreed, Jeff. And I know that we chatted about this a little on Twitter, but yeah, I'm with you. I know we talked a lot last week about how, personally, I think that NBC should really make Peacock a very sports-driven streaming service. I feel like they have the opportunity to do that, and I feel like it would help set them apart from competitors. So I think any opportunity that they have to shift sports content over there would be a great move. So NBC Universal, if you happen to be watching the Q&A tonight, that's my free advice for you. I'll charge you for the next bit. Just kidding. Colin wants to know if I see sports going direct to consumers so you can get sports with a live TV service. So I have some thoughts about this. I was really hoping that Sinclair would come through and have a very good strategy in place for making their RSNs direct to consumer in a way that made sense for both them, for the sports leagues, for consumers. So I was really hoping that all of that was just going to work out in a way that made sense for everybody, and that could be the shining example of how we could bring sports directly to consumers to help people save money, get what they want without getting all the extra. And of course, Sinclair came in. Reportedly, none of this has been confirmed. Sinclair has actually said that it's not true, but apparently they're talking about putting it at a $23 price point for one team. I'm not really sure. I don't know. There's a lot going on with this Bally Sports stuff. So I just don't think that this is going to be the amazing example that I really wanted it to be. And I think some of us were hoping it would be. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's going to happen. I think that sports are going to have to kind of shift more towards streaming than they already have, just because everything is kind of making that shift. But it's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out. Oh my gosh, okay. Yep, here's a big one that's a little embarrassing for me to talk about, but something that we do need to talk about. Freedom wants to know if anyone took the Cord Cutters News summer survey. Here's the thing, guys. I made a couple of huge, glaring, just flat out stupid mistakes on the survey. On the part about on-demand services, I left off Netflix, which truly was the dumbest mistake I could have made. And 2 other people looked at the survey, and for some reason, just none of us caught that. I also kind of fumbled with setting up the price points whenever I asked you how much you pay each month for streaming services. So there were just a couple of really big, glaring mistakes on it. So at some point on Monday, I had the day off, but for some reason I checked in and noticed that 1,800 people had already taken the survey, but people were commenting, people were DMing me and emailing me and saying, hey, you might want to fix this. At that point, to be honest, it was too late to just like try to add Netflix in, try to change those numbers in the price ranges, and I don't know, hope that no one noticed or something. It was just too late for any of that. And then another option was to post the results anyway and just kind of make excuses for why Netflix wasn't on there. I think ESPN Plus was also missing. So I don't know. I didn't feel right about doing that either because the results would just be really skewed. So what ended up happening, I chatted about this with Philip and a couple of other people, and we all decided it would be best to shut the survey down for the time being, fix those big mistakes that I had made, and kind of rewrite some of the questions a little bit, reword things in a way that made a little more sense, and to send the survey back out later. So I fixed up some of that today, and we will send it out again probably tomorrow. So if you did already take the summer survey, thank you so much. So sorry. I'm going to ask you to take it again if you don't mind. Kind of just a dumb mistake on my part, and I apologize for anyone who did take it already, but yeah, I will be asking people to take it all over again. So that post should probably be up tomorrow. You're going to see it reposted on Twitter, Facebook, everywhere. So if you guys don't mind taking it, I would super appreciate it. And again, sorry about the obvious errors that were made. So that was a very long explanation, but thank you for listening to me. Oh no, I was not in charge of any elections, and this is clearly why. I felt like it looked great. I don't know, maybe I even sent it out a day later than I wanted to because I was like, I just need another chance to look this over. I know I'm forgetting something, and man, I don't know. I was having a week, apparently. Did I have other options at the bottom of each question? I did, and I kind of do that on purpose. I make some of them closed, so you can only choose one of like 3 answers. But for some of them, I do leave them open because if somebody really does want to share a different service that they subscribe to or something, that's totally fine. We usually don't include those whenever we do the results. I just kind of add them all up and say this many people had another option. So just full transparency with all of that. I don't want to lie to you guys or make excuses or anything, so just wanted to be honest about what happened there. I was kicking myself on Monday, let me tell you. I was feeling pretty dumb about it, but it'll be fine. We will just try it again. Robert never even saw the survey. I kind of cleaned up my mess quickly. We posted it, I think, well, it was right before the holiday weekend, so that might be why you missed it, Robert. I think we posted it on Thursday, and then I took it down on Monday, and I deleted the Facebook post about it too, just so that people didn't click and try to answer and see that it was already closed. So, like I said, it'll probably be going out again tomorrow, so it'll be on Facebook, Twitter, on the website, everything, and in the newsletter for anyone who is subscribed to that. Thank you guys for the very kind comments that I'm seeing in the chat. I really do appreciate it. You guys have been great. I don't know why I was worried that people would be not so nice. All right. Yeah, for those of you saying that you missed the survey, not a problem. You will see it over the weekend, probably tomorrow. Man, losing my voice. Sheesh. I'm not used to talking for an hour straight unless it's a Wednesday night. All right. Anyway, back to it. Colin says, do you think that the MLB will lift in-market blackout restrictions? Can they truly be direct to consumer and allow fans to watch their local teams? I would love to see that happen. I can absolutely see that happening. I am not entirely sure of the ins and outs of why they have restrictions, what all of the agreements are. So I can't give a very detailed answer about all of this, but I can see them doing that. I can see them offering all of the games to all customers. I would love to see it happen too. Samuel, thank you so much. That's such a nice comment. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Sheriff Bart says, do you think that there are too many streaming services or do we need more? I kind of think that we are at a point where there are a lot, and I think that's why we're now seeing some of them start to combine. And I think that we will be seeing more of that. I think some of the smaller services, we're going to continue seeing them shut down, like T-Vision shut down. I think we'll continue seeing stuff like that. And, oh, sorry, got distracted. So I think that we'll continue seeing that, like, consolidation. I think that we'll see things like Apple, yes, and also Amazon Prime Video channels. That's a mouthful. I think that we'll continue to see things like that, where you can kind of subscribe to each one individually, but all in one spot. And yeah, consolidation I've already mentioned 1,000 times, but that's kind of the way I see things going. I do think that we're getting to a point where there are so many to choose from. People are getting a little overwhelmed by options. Did I ever figure out what happened with the Cord Cutters news updates? Are you talking about the newsletter? Because yes and no. I finally got into the program. I am usually not the one that sends out the newsletter, but I went into the program that we use to send it out, and I keep seeing that there are like error messages and things where they're saying that there was an issue where a batch of them didn't get sent out. There's something weird going on. So I will try to chat with someone about that next week, hopefully. Everyone's just been so busy. We're a small team. It's just hard to get time with anybody to sit down and work through a problem. So yeah, I will try to get that straightened out. But yeah, you can always DM me or email me your email address if you are not getting the newsletter and you think that you are signed up. And I think I can go in manually and check to see if your email address is on the list. And as always, definitely check your spam folder and see if it ends up in there. That is what you were talking about. Chris, I think that you already emailed me, but if you don't mind doing it one more time, I'm so sorry. But if you could email me just so I have your email address, and I'll go into the list and check and see if I can figure that out for you. And anyone else, if you feel like you're on the list and you're not getting the newsletter, send me your email address on Twitter or email me, jess@cordcuttersnews.com. All right, let's see here. Any more news on the Roku and YouTube fiasco? No, not really. Haven't really heard anything. What a mess it has been, though. Oh, and then did you guys see the news, too, that Roku users were trying to open up the Spectrum app and it wouldn't open? That was a mess, too. So that happened over the holiday weekend, and people noticed, especially on Sunday and Monday, that whenever they tried to open their Spectrum app, they couldn't open it. It said that it wasn't available in their country, but they were in the US. So, not sure exactly what happened, but as we know, Roku and Spectrum had a disagreement as well. Roku was just like fighting with everybody lately. But they took the Spectrum app out of the Roku store, but for people who already had it downloaded, they could still access it and use it as normal. But if they deleted the app, they were out of luck because it's no longer in the Roku store. So, over the holiday weekend, people were trying to open up the app. It wasn't working. People were calling Spectrum support, and apparently Spectrum was telling people, just delete the app and try to reinstall it. So even the Spectrum customer support people did not know that Spectrum was no longer available in the channel store. These people were deleting the app, trying to get it back, and they were out of luck. So a huge mess. Apparently it all started when Roku did their update where they now have the summer theme, the summer background. So just kind of a mess all around. I was trying to keep up with the Roku message board where people were talking about it, and it seems like most people have now been able to open it, but man, what a mess. Yeah, people are saying that Spectrum just overall doesn't like streaming, and I think that's probably a part of it. Roku is trying to flex their market share muscle. Yeah, as always, everything comes down to money. It's advertising dollars. It's customer data that they can use for advertising. So the whole thing is frustrating for all of us. All right. Chris says they should have a YouTube TV and Roku boxing match, winner takes all. Yikes. I have met people at both, and I don't think that I want any of them in any kind of a boxing match. They're all very nice people. All right, let's see here. Colin says, what do you see happening to Hulu once Disney has full control over NBC Universal? Oh, after NBC Universal gives up their stake. So I think that, I don't know. How was that for an answer? I was going to say something and then realized, okay, anyway. I have always said that I like that Disney has separate streaming services. I like that they kind of used Disney Plus more for kids and family content, and their brands like Marvel, Star Wars. I think all of that lives on Disney Plus and is good there. And then Hulu was more for like adult content and Hulu originals. I think they have a lot of good stuff going on over there too. I like that you can choose one or the other rather than having a expensive big streaming service with lots of stuff. But all of that to say, I don't know what's going to happen. I really don't. I know that some people have said that they expect Hulu to just fold and not be a thing anymore. But then Disney has also started Star in other places that has a bunch of Hulu content. So I just don't know what's going to happen. It does seem like they have a whole lot going on, and maybe they would want to try to consolidate in some way. But I don't know. I feel like there are just so many different ways it could go. I would love to know what you guys think. If you think that oh, yeah, I'm getting a message that an error occurred too. Sorry, guys. If I froze, I'm so sorry. An error occurred. Please try again later. Can you guys still see me and hear me? Not really sure what's going on right now. My feed stopped working on my computer. So I can see myself on my software thing, and I can see your chats, but nothing else is working. Interesting. Conspiracy? Because I was saying something bad about YouTube, maybe? Okay, Chris says you can, all right, you can see me and hear me. Okay, I'm just going to keep going then, and I won't see myself over on YouTube. All right, yeah, I would love to know what your opinions are, though, about the Disney and Hulu thing. Do you think that they will shut down Hulu? Do you think that they will consolidate somehow? What do you guys think? All right, let's see. I froze a couple of times. I hate it when that happens because I'm always making the dumbest face when it freezes. Yeah, YouTube got mad at me. Conspiracy theory? Just saying. You had that error too. Yeah, mine is still up on the screen. It says an error occurred. Please try again later. Playback ID, a bunch of letters. Click here to learn more. I'm not clicking there right now. I've got things to do. Sorry, YouTube. Live feed just blipped. Interesting. Chris says best to keep Disney Plus and Hulu separate. Willie says I love Hulu. Oh, I froze on everyone's phones, but I'm still working on Roku and computer. Interesting. Not sure what happened. Sorry, guys. I don't think it was anything on my end. It looks like everything is still working, but my feed stopped. All right. CJ says, in my humble opinion, Hulu has been around too long for them to fold and go away. They would have so many people angry if Disney if they close the service down. I'm completely with you, CJ. I feel like Luke and I had that conversation once upon a time on a podcast back when we did that. If anyone remembers the podcast, I feel like we had a conversation about the possibility. I think it was right whenever Disney had control of Hulu for the first time. I think we had a conversation about them potentially shutting it down. So I, since then, have been saying that I would be very upset if they closed down Hulu. I love Hulu. Someone said 130 something people still watching, so great. Looks like we didn't really lose anybody. And while you're here, if you have found this whole conversation fun or entertaining or interesting at all, please like the video. And if you haven't already, please follow Cord Cutters News on YouTube. Jeff says, Cord Cutters News podcast is a time warp. Yeah, big time. I loved doing that podcast. I was very nervous the first few times, and there were a couple of times, those of you who have been here for a while will remember maybe, there were a couple of times we went to record and there was construction happening in the apartment next to me, and every time I tried to talk, there was a hammer directly behind my face. There was, at one point, I really thought that just a person was going to come through my wall, so great. I'm glad that we're not dealing with that anymore. Here we are in a nice little office studio. Anyway, I've just gotten off track so many times tonight. This video has been all over the place. All right. Bart says, can Disney take Netflix's spot as the #1 streaming service? I don't know. Netflix is pretty far ahead still at the moment. And from what I have seen, Disney has kind of slowed down a little bit, at least in the US. I know that they are going global, so maybe they're doing well outside of the US, but I think that they've really slowed down a lot, and a lot more than they were expecting so early on. So I don't know. I see Netflix kind of holding that top spot for a while longer. Eric says, I could never get into the on-demand content on Hulu the periods of time I had Hulu. Netflix has lots of content to watch. Yeah, I think that Netflix has that going for it too. They have some great original content. They just have so much content. It's hard to find things to watch sometimes just because there's so much to go through. And yeah, I agree that Hulu has a smaller library, so Netflix has that going for it. I do love the Hulu originals though. Like Handmaid's Tale is one of my favorites. They have some good original movies and things, so I don't know. I just don't see Hulu going anywhere. Yeah, the trials and tribulations of the Wednesday night Q&As, let me tell you guys. I think that we all knew though. I think NYC really kicked it off with saying we were just going to have a nice relaxing night, a very chill conversation. So we just had a lot of things to talk about. Some were streaming related, some weren't, and that's okay. All right, when are we going to do a review on Vidgo? I have actually done a few. I feel like we have reviewed them. We have talked about their deal for $10 for your first month. I had a phone call with Vidgo a while ago, not super long ago, a few months, I think maybe before Christmas. And I did a whole post about that, had a conversation with them about what sets them apart, how they're able to keep their cost a little lower than some of the other services. Also, we had a conversation about why they don't have a DVR option. So we've covered all of that stuff. So we have done quite a bit with Vidgo. I just haven't heard any big news about them lately. Honestly, I'm happy to share any news that we hear from them, but we just haven't gotten a whole lot lately. All right, what happened to the live stream on YouTube? If you are talking about this one and you can't see it, it's probably because of the device that you're using. On my computer, it's also gone. I can see your chat, but I can't see myself. And others said that they can't see me on their phone right now. So sorry about that. All right. Do I know why the Comcast Xfinity app isn't working or isn't on the Apple TV? Can you ask Apple about this when you talk to them again? I will try to look into it. I don't know, to be honest. It is probably just that they haven't managed to make that deal yet, so I'm not sure they would have any extra info about that, but I will check and see. The Jessie live stream. That's so funny because people in my family call me Jessie. No one else ever has. So whenever I see it pop up somewhere, it always catches me off guard. I'm like, are you my aunt or uncle? Who are you? All right, guys, we can answer just a couple more questions and then we will go ahead and call it a night. Or if anyone else wants to share their favorite movie snack, I'm up for talking more about snacks. That's fine too. All right, they're showing the first HOH competition on Big Brother. It's in teams, no spoilers. Thank you, Chris. I will absolutely be watching this tomorrow morning. I don't know why I thought for sure that they were showing Big Brother on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I didn't realize it was going to be on Wednesday night, and I'm kind of upset about it. But I'll be catching up tomorrow. The Jessie show on Disney Plus. Oh, is that what we're talking about? You're not talking about my live stream. You're talking about Jessie on Disney Plus. I'm very confused by everything. Jeff says, you're being sandwiched between a girlfriend snoring and YouTube crashing. I'm so sorry. Bad news all around. Yeah, G-Money, honestly, who do I need to call at Paramount Plus to talk to them about the Big Brother schedule? Because I'm really going to need this to be rearranged to work for me personally. Oh yeah, that's true that Hulu has a kids and family section. They have Space Jam. Oh, the new Space Jam. Is it out or it's coming out soon? Yeah, that's a good point that Hulu does have a kids and family section. I'm interested in why they didn't move some of that stuff over to Disney Plus. I do know people at Paramount Plus. I'll make a phone call. Can you imagine? What would people even do if I called up and said, listen, I do a live stream on Wednesday nights. I really just need you to rearrange your entire television schedule to meet my needs. Thank you so much. All right, guys, I think that we are going to wrap it up here. I'm really just going off the rails at the moment, but this was such a fun chat tonight, and thank you for everyone who stuck around and talked about popcorn and Roku and the Weather Channel fighting with people online. It was a fun day. All right, guys, I will be back next week. I am going to go now and see if I can watch Big Brother live feeds. All right, I'll see you all next time. Thanks so much for hanging out with me.